What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of On the Red Couch with Max Power. I am Max Power, and as you can see,
It's still red.
it's still red. Yes, it is me, Max Power, Paisley, and Chris, Bumblebee Man.
Ay, no está bueno.
Mi stomach-o. That's my favorite one. And this is another episode of My Virgin Eyes,
Yes.
which we will be reviewing two movies.
Yes.
Because we pulled from the picture, which is just off to the camera, off the side of the camera that Chris is going to pull up right now.
No.
So we pulled from the picture Airplane, the classic comedy from 1980. But it is Halloween season. Halloween was yesterday. But what came out, Chris?
Halloween Ends.
So we,
Yes.
if you guys remember, if you haven't, if you're new or not, we pulled Halloween from the picture, the first one. We've pulled Halloween, the first one. It came out. We watched the what year was that? 1980. The very first Halloween. We pulled that out, and then it was right around the time the second to newest one came out.
Yeah.
So Chris enjoyed the first movie that much that we said, fuck it, we're going to go and watch the 2018 movie, which is a continuation from the original. And then we went and watched the second part, Halloween Kills, in theaters. And so Halloween Ends came out this month for on Peacock. So we had to keep the tradition. So we watched that one just now. So we're going to review Airplane. Then we're gonna probably blow through Airplane. There's not a whole lot to talk about that one, but then we're gonna probably spend the most time talking about Halloween Ends and beer and Chris's trip to the joint.
Yeah.
So
and every time we do these episodes, the most exciting part for me is getting our hands in the picture.
yes,
We got some stuff in here that I'm dying to see. Stuff I want you to see.
Yeah, I want to see some more stuff. There's got to be some more stuff in there that I want to watch.
There's at least 25 in there.
Yeah.
In this picture.
The real question is, will we ever go through all those movies? How long until we just stop? Stop.
We're gonna have about as many seasons as The Simpsons.
Simpsons still going strong, though.
Yeah.
All right. So I have seen Airplane numerous times.
I wonder who saw it the first time ever.
Yeah, who in the first person? Well, Paisley. I don't think she's ever seen it. And then Chris has never seen it. So, basic plot is there's a flight going to Chicago, I think it is, and they all get food poisoning because they eat. Half the crew get food poisoning, and then it takes an ex-army guy to take control. But in the most funniest,
this is an action movie.
Yeah, it's the funniest slapstick comedy movie, like from that era. It's still one of the funniest movies of all time. Like they've done studies on it.
I mean, Leslie Nielsen's in it, so you're already at an 8.
Yeah, you already started at an 8.
Yeah.
So, okay, if you're scaled, you went from an 8. Where did you, after when the credits end and you see the autopilot turn and salute the camera and then drive off the plane, and then the blow up stewardess pops up next to him like they're a couple?
Man.
Does it go higher than 8 or lower than 8?
It strong 8, flexing 8. It was, yeah.
So like an 8.
This is one of the older movies that I guess a lot of people that I know haven't blown it up for it to be like this mythic, like a solid franchise like Ghostbusters or Jurassic Park, where you're gonna understand. So there's some movies where it's hyped too much. You already have a high expectation for it.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like this movie had it.
There's movies in that picture that are blown up hyped, and I don't like. It's already put me off on certain,
Yeah. So
you're saying this movie's in your life it hasn't been hyped enough?
yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. When you think so, when we're thinking of like classics and pop culture, kind of as far as even in comedy, those aren't that. I don't think that movie's as popular as others.
Okay, I'll agree with you on that. But I think it's a very famously quotable movie. Like, there's a lot of scenes in that where they still reference it to in Family Guys and stuff like that. But it's not like, especially Leslie Nielsen's movies, like, the 2 Airplane movies, then the what's his Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Like those movies, he's so funny and he's so comical in it and throughout the whole movies, not just his parts, but all of those sets of movies like that are very quotable, especially like in our generation. Like my dad is a massive fan of these movies, and so and stuff like that. So I think you could say that this movie's not hyped and it's not, nobody. If you go, hey, what's your top 10 favorite comedies of all time? This one probably won't make
a lot of lists.
Or if it does make the list, it's one of those ones like, oh, I forgot about Airplane.
Yeah.
That should be like in there. But I think it was Harvard or Yale. They did a study and they made all these test subjects watch all these movies, like all these comedies from back in the day, like from the 80s and stuff like that. And Airplane got the most laughs per minute.
Yeah.
So by law, by studies, by Harvard or whatever it was, Yale, it's the funniest movie of all time because it has the most laughs per minute.
It's
even today.
It's like Family Guy,
mm-hmm.
but live, because every maybe 30 seconds there's a joke or a punchline or something you laugh at. It isn't part of the story.
Yeah,
it's just made for laughs. And
I could see that.
And there's a lot of stuff in Airplane. Like, I'm gonna compare the humor, even though it's not the same move and style of an airplane situation or whatever. But if you're gonna, it's comedies like American Pie or Van Wilder. It kind of has that kind of humor, and even then, those movies don't. The quips aren't every. Like, it's not like every other quote in the Deadpool movies that you just like, this is like, trying to get you a laugh. That's how fast the jokes are in Airplane, as opposed to consistent or in between like Time Breakers and the other movies.
Yeah, it's like a stand-up. Movie.
It's like a stand-up performance, just jokes, visual jokes, sexual innuendos, jump and jive, whatever kind of.
Because that because like American Pie, they tell funny things through scenes and actions, where this one is like jokes. It's like you can actually see someone making that joke, like some of those things they say in that movie. Do you have a favorite part? No, we watched this movie
3 weeks
ago, so it's been a while.
Yeah,
we've been very busy
drinking.
Yeah, I've been across the country. I've been in different countries and states and working beer festival after beer festival. Chris went to Vegas.
But no, we've recorded since then.
Have we?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's been a while.
Oh man.
Favorite part?
Oh my god. That's the hard part, because if the effort is, it's fun, there's a joke every 30, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
How many jokes that is in a movie?
Yeah, it's true.
It's a lot. It's like, imagine putting together a whole season of the actual, like season 3 of The Simpsons. Cram all that humor into 2 hours.
Yeah. All the best parts.
Yeah, all the best parts, because
someone should do that.
Every season of The Simpsons has to have at least 4 dozen catchphrases.
Yeah.
You know.
I've been watching. We'll talk about that later.
But it was also supposed to be a romance, because the couple, she broke up with him because he had trauma from the war or whatever.
Like, commitment issues as
well.
Yeah,
commitment issues and shit. And my train of thought just left the station.
Just like the plane.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a romance.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a romance, and so he's trying to win her back, so he's actually facing his fears of getting on a plane, and then they're just arguing back and forth, and then they're trying to save the plane even though they're still not like there. And then the movie's over, they finally get together. But there's stuff and jokes and stuff in the middle that keeps reminding you that the story is the relationship part.
Yeah.
The dude trying to get the girl back.
And does he get her back in the end?
I think he does.
He did, yeah.
Yeah. It's been 3-4 weeks. Yeah. But damn, a lot of those jokes blow off halfway through, just boop. Man, that's another example of like comedy from like the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
That you show people today, 80% of people will get offended by something in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. That movie would not be able to be made in the 2000s.
Yeah. It was funny. Like, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, there's no way that they would allow him to make jive jokes or...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Blazing Saddles. You ever seen Blazing Saddles? No.
Of course not.
Blazing Saddles is one of those movies like that just has those kind of jokes, but it's like they're definitely gonna have time where it's gonna be a little bit racist, a little close to the edge, a little bit on the edge. All right, so you said you would give it a strong 8 out of 10.
Yeah. That's
good.
Fair.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I'd put it there too. 8's good.
You know what? Sooner or later, I might have to watch it again because I'm pretty sure there's still a lot of shit that I missed the first time I saw it.
And like, well, I guess you won't really have that, but when I was a kid, seeing that movie when I was a kid for the first time, it's like those Pixar movies where it's like when you watch it as a kid or as like a young adult, you know, in your teenage years, and you watch the movie, you might get like 50% of the jokes, right? And then when you're an adult and you've experienced more of life, you fucking get like 90% of the jokes. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's just because they have like, it's like those Pixar movies where it's like it's a sweet character loving movie, but they're actually talking about, you know, there's a dick in the background or whatever kind of thing, you know. And it's like, so the mom and dad can laugh and the kids can laugh because they think it's funny because there's a cute character on screen, but really it's something about adult humor kind of thing.
Yeah.
But whatever. All right.
What do you give this movie?
I give it an 8. Yeah, it's a solid 8. My favorite scene is when the autopilot starts deflating, and then the stewardess has to blow it up, and its air pocket is right here, and then Leslie Nielsen opens the door and just looks down, and it looks like she's blowing him the air back. And he's all passed out, and then he puts his hand on her back.
Yeah,
and it makes me laugh.
Oh man!
But yeah, while it's still fresh in our minds, let's talk about Halloween Ends. They didn't play that song in there, did they?
The intro
at the beginning,
and then the scene where, spoiler alert, he's on the table about to get cut up by Jamie Lee Curtis, and they do the flashback.
Oh, right.
They played that.
But it was more just that like all the time. All right. We're not going to spend too much time reviewing the past 2 movies, but the fast thing is in the first part, the Jamie Lee Curtis, her daughter, and then her granddaughter capture Michael in a basement prison.
The fucking Home Alone house.
Yeah, Home Alone house. Yeah, they prison him in there. They set it on fire, but somehow they leave and the fucking fire, people get there and put out the fire. Jason's still alive.
This is when the second movie starts.
I apologize. Michael's still alive. Yeah. So the second movie, he goes back and he starts just killing everybody.
Yeah.
And the whole town goes into a frenzy, and it was very, kind of modern propaganda, like
who are the monsters?
Yeah, who are the monsters? Yeah. And then a group of them capture Michael, and then they beat the shit out of him, and they stab him, and they leave him for dead. Of course,
he doesn't die.
And then when they go back to pick up his body, which nobody kept around, nobody stuck around, he's gone. And then Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter is in the house, and then he stabs and kills her, and then he disappears for 4 years. What are you doing? Okay. So the third movie, it starts off in 2019. So kind of I think that's right when this whole thing is going down, right? Like, and it's about another kid who's getting babysat, and they're worried about Michael, and then the babysitter accidentally kills the kid, which the kid kind of deserved it. He definitely deserved it. But the way he killed him was unbelievable. A lot of spoilers here. We're going to talk about the kills and the deaths. The babysitter is locked in a room, and he kicks the door. They're on the third floor of this cool balcony, like oval staircase. Yeah. The dude kicks the door so hard. The kid hits a kid right in the face. He falls back over the banister
of the top floor
and hits the ground, and like did this weird, like, did he bounce or like did he fall this way where his knees hit the ground and like he snapped his neck? And he was annihilated. It's a pretty good start. It wasn't Michael killing somebody, and it wasn't like, the generic, but it was like, where is this movie going?
This is the opening scene where you're expected to establish the villain of the story. So you're expecting Michael Myers to start,
which in a way they did, but
the kill. Yeah. And instead, it wasn't anyone involving Michael.
Yeah. And if actually you made this point when that opening scene happened, the second movie started right after, right? So like we saw, like, you could literally watch those movies back to back, and it wouldn't feel weird. It would feel like one continuous movie because they show what's happening directly. Yeah. And where this one, it goes back a little bit in time to when this kid dies, which has, like, it's a weird opening because you've never seen any of these characters before.
Yeah.
You would think it would go right back to right when Michael stabs her daughter and kills her, and they find the body. Like, you would think it would start from like there, and how they grieve and how they try and move on, but it doesn't. It kind of goes right to this scene, and then once after the classic intro comes, excuse me, they do it, and they show, like, Jamie Lee Curtis is like, "Hey, I'm not going to be this badass anymore. Michael's been gone for 4 years. I'm gonna get back to my life," and she
bought a house.
She bought a house, and she becomes like a grandma. Like, she's cooking apple pies.
Burning apple pies.
Burning them, yeah. Not really cooking them. Do you want to continue the story? You want me? Am I doing a good enough job?
You're doing great. She's trying to be the normal. She's trying to raise the granddaughter, and then the granddaughter, maybe 10 minutes in, the granddaughter meets the kid from the beginning that accidentally, the team that actually,
so he gets off as an accidental murder, so he doesn't go to jail or anything like that. But again, just like Michael, he becomes the town psychopath or weirdo,
the freak.
Because he killed the kid, but it was by accident. But
he got away with it.
He got away with it, so he's a bad guy, like, in the heart of people.
And so they wind up fancying each other. They start hanging out together.
Well, no. That's not how it goes.
The Halloween party.
Before
before that.
He gets beat up by a bunch of high schoolers.
Oh, yeah.
And then Jamie Lee Curtis takes him to the hospital because she knows her daughter, her granddaughter works there, and she try to pair them up. So in a way, it's her fault. This whole thing happens.
Yeah.
You must have missed that part. He's probably eating pizza at that part.
Perhaps. And somewhere during this, while the kids are dating, there's a nice little twist I wasn't expecting, and I kind of enjoyed it a lot.
Tell me that twist.
In this story, in this trilogy, it's been hinted that he's got supernatural powers, or because he got the ass whooping from 20 people, and he
still survived.
And he still survived.
He got burned to a curse and still survived.
But apparently in this movie, I got the impression that he possesses people. So after the kid got bullied again and thrown off a bridge, he tried to go through some tunnels, and
he got dragged in there.
He got dragged in there, and in the tunnels he ran into Michael Myers, and Michael Myers grabbed him around the throat, and Michael's staring into the kid's eyes, and he looked into his memories.
Yeah, almost like his soul.
Yeah, and saw all the shit that the kid went through and everything, and Michael Myers let him go in like maybe 30 minutes in the movie. 42 minutes in the movie.
Yeah, 42 minutes into the movie, you get to see Michael.
Yeah.
Who'd been living in the sewers for 4 years.
He let him go. And that was in the 40th minute, and that was the first twist. That he let the kid go because he killed everybody. And they made a point in the beginning when in the babysitting scene, like Michael Myers doesn't kill kids.
Yeah.
He only kills teenagers or babysitters. And so you're under the impression as a grown adult, he's about to get killed by fucking Michael Myers, and then he looks almost into his soul, and he just lets him go. So that's already shocker number one. And then, twist number one. And then twist number two is not only they let him live, it turns out he possessed him.
Sure. I think he not like possessed him as in like he took over his body. Like it wasn't Michael doing the killing. I think he like poisoned his brain. Like he like kind of brought the darkness out of the kid. Because he still was acting the way. If he'd been possessed by Michael, then Michael would have just done the same old things and like crept around and stuff like that. I think it was more of a like, this is how like this is what it feels like kind of thing.
I would buy that if it wasn't for during the movie, the kid was doing Michael Myers-esque stuff like disappearing, darting and getting away really fast. Nobody sees him.
True.
Those were like supernatural powers that he didn't have before.
All right, maybe. I mean, he never did anything that was super like supernatural. All the death scenes are pretty. He's not, like where Jason can throw somebody really high. Like he's just hitting people with hammers and knives and choking people and hitting people with cars and shit like that. So it's not like he's doing anything supernatural, but I definitely would say that he has some form of possession to make him, because he's still throughout the movie when the kid is like doing all the bad stuff, like he's still talking to the girl and been like, where if it was really being possessed, Michael would be just like, kill, I'm gonna get Jamie Lee Curtis and kill you. Where this one's kind of like still has part of his morals where he's like, let's get out of here, let's fucking leave this city, let's fucking change our names kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the kid goes on a killing spree.
And he confesses to the granddaughter that he's killed someone.
Yeah, I thought I was like, whoa. I thought he was gonna go share with a homeless dude.
That's what I thought too. But no, he's talking about the kid. I think, yeah. So she knows what's going on, and she's willing to stay with him. So I'm guessing she's the one that told him, "Hey, I missed my fucking promotion for this chick that's sleeping with the dentist."
Yeah. He definitely told her.
She definitely told him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
then,
think they have a conversation about it.
Yeah. She's kind of with it. She's kind of down with it as long as they stay together.
I kind of like that conversation that they have where she's trying to like compare them together, like show like how they're the same person. And then he's like, no, he's like, everyone sees you as a survivor, so like they look at you weird because you're a survivor. They look at me because I killed somebody and got away with it, like even though it was an accident. So it's like, I'm always going to be the monster. You're always going to be the survivor. That's how this world's going to see us, kind of thing. And I thought that was a kind of cool little conversation, because most times those kind of movies, when they're trying to like sync together that like hard character with the softer character, and they're like, we're the same person, they just kind of agree with it and they kind of go with it. Where this one's like, no, it's like, we're cut from the same cloth, but I'm the bad guy, you're the good guy. And that's how you're always going to be seen, even though we're both viewed as weirdos. I kind of dug that.
Yeah. So then it became a freaking tag team with Michael Myers and with the bully kid.
Yeah. They did the classic knife in the stomach.
And they're hanging on the wall.
Hang on the wall. Nice throwback to the original. Yeah, I thought that scene was pretty cool, because he's killing the doctor. The kid's killing the doctor. And then the chick almost escapes. And she thinks she's escaped, and he's trying to get in. And then Mike's also in there. And you're just kind of like, we're both sitting there like, yeah. We're both sitting there like, are they fucking tag teaming? They're like father son now. It's almost what it is. It's like a father son movie. And I guess technically you're right about the supernatural, because you mentioned how, and I didn't notice it because I was in the kitchen, but his hand got fixed. So the kid got his hand cut and had a bunch of stitches. And then when he's killing Michael, the stitches are
after the possession.
Yeah, after he's been choked by Michael, his hand is like healed. And I was like, oh, I didn't notice that at first. He had to point it out.
Yeah.
So he's killed this couple, and is this before or after the cop? It's after the cop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he kills the cop, and the cop kind of starts beating up Michael. Like, Michael's weak as shit, and he's like kind of losing his power. And then this kid, and then Michael starts killing the cop, the off-duty cop, and it kind of like rejuvenized him and made him like, God damn, look at my arm. Kind of rejuvenized him and made him like young again. He became strong.
Yeah.
Then the kid just goes full blown.
Let's burn it together.
Yeah, he goes full blown Michael Myers, and he gets the bully and all those people, and he killed them. He got the first kid with a shitty mullet through the eye with like an arrow. He didn't really explain what that was. It looked like an arrow. It was like through the eye. Then he ran over the other chick, and she was stuck under a chain link fence. Then he hit a girl with a wrench, right?
Yeah.
And you actually don't see her get hit by the wrench, but she get hit by a wrench. Then what did he do to the kid? The main bully? How did he kill him?
Oh, the torch.
Oh, yeah, he
torched him.
Yeah, he put on a blowtorch and just torched his mouth, like into his mouth. And then he stomped on the girl's head.
Yeah.
So he wiped out them. Then he wiped out his mom and his dad. I guess that was his dad or his stepdad or something. He gets shot in the head, and then he goes and stabs his mom, and then he goes to the record player store, the radio station, and that was probably my favorite kill.
Where he kills the DJ?
Yeah, because
There's some there were some scenes in here that I turned away. I was like, how? And one of the scenes that got me was at the end. Mike kills the DJ by just bashing his head to the turntable until his face is no longer a face.
Yeah, he breaks his jaw pretty much.
Yeah, and then Michael Myers got a knife. No, he got scissors. He got scissors, and he cut the dude's tongue off.
Yeah,
and left the tongue on the record as the record's spinning.
I love that.
It keeps hitting the needle, and it just skips every like 3 seconds, and then it bumps the needle off completely because it's a flow.
Yeah, I like that kill a lot. I thought it looked good. Like,
that was cool.
It looked good. Like, it didn't look like cheesy. You know, it didn't look like, oh shit, that looks fake as fuck. It was like, all right, this dude.
You shut him up.
Yeah.
You want.
Yeah.
You wanted Houston, you got Houston.
Yeah, for real. You got yeah, for real. And that pulling the tongue and just snipping it.
You doing it is making me.
Yeah, you're just like, ah! That was cool. The blowtorch scene was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Because like you just see an up close of the kid's face, and then the blowtorch just hitting him and like it turning red and like bubbling and burning. That was pretty cool.
And you undersold this in the beginning. You were not surprised at all about how that kid died in the beginning. The way the body hit the floor and all.
Yeah. I said at the beginning, as soon as that, because the kid was being a little shit, I was like, you can go over here if you want. Come on. I don't care. The kid deserved to be killed because he was being a little brat.
That's why I don't have children.
Yeah. All right, so then final battle. It's the kid versus Jamie Lee Curtis.
The kid.
Wearing
he went back to the sewer. He needed something because he told his crush that her grandmother was trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm. And he went back and he fights Michael and he steals the mask.
Yeah.
So he has Michael's mask. Come over here. He has Michael's mask. He's heading to Jamie Lee Curtis because he wants to. He pretty much wants to see her, the granddaughter, like witness the murder kind of thing, and so he goes all the way back, and then Jamie Lee Curtis and the kids fight. He shoots her, or she shoots him twice. He falls down the stairs, and then he pulls out a knife and he wants her to kill him. And then she doesn't do it. And so he stabs himself in the neck right before the granddaughter walks in. And it looks like Jamie Lee Curtis is fucking went crazy and killed this kid.
She turns around. She's got the knife in her hand.
Yeah, she's holding the knife and she's like, I didn't do it. And then she blames the kid. She blames her grandma about what happened, Jamie Lee Curtis. And then she leaves. She runs away because she's mad. And then we hear Mike. I came home, Jason. We hear Michael creeping around, and he shows up, and he puts the mask on, and then he's back to going killing, and it's back to Jamie Lee Curtis and them, and it's kind of cool how you watch them go at it again, like for the final time.
Yeah. And judging by the ending of this movie, they're gonna stick to it. This final, I think that's it. So
they fight. She's obviously still weak, so Jamie Lee Curtis overpowers him, and she hands his hands on the table with knives. She drops the fridge on his leg, so he's like pinned. He can't get up. She stabs him in the chest. She cuts his throat.
No, she stabs him in the chest, and then she stabs him right here in the side.
Oh yeah. And then he catches her and he starts choking her, and it's kind of his last defense. Like it's him. And she's kind of cool with it. Like I think she wants them to die at the same time. Like she wants everything to end. So she's like, I'm gonna die. You're gonna kill me. I'm killing you. Like let's fucking do it. I thought that was kind of cool. And then her granddaughter saves the day and breaks his arm, and then she cut the throat, and then he cuts his wrists, and then the cops show up, and they're like, it's not over, and I thought they were gonna burn him, but throughout the movie they show that grinder a bunch of times, and I was like, oh, that someone's going through that. I thought when they went to the back to the junkyard, that kid, the bratty kid, was gonna go through, like he's gonna pick him up and throw him in. But after they didn't do that, I was like, oh, Michael's going in that for sure. And so the whole town, they parade him as if he's the monster's dead. They kind of like, we killed the monster, and they parade him around the whole city, and then everyone goes to the junkyard and they throw him in the grinder.
Yeah, the grinder.
And then they buried those parts. Now, if this was one of those kind of movies, they would his pieces would join back together, and then he would come back alive, but he'd be more zombified.
Oh shit!
But not with this movie, not with this series. That's it. They're not going to make any more. Jamie Lee Curtis is not going to come back. Hopefully,
yeah, because there's some possibility there, man. I said earlier, it's like, man, maybe he gave it to his crush because they slept together and they had time. He had opportunity. To like possess her also, or the host get possessed or whatever. So they could have found a way to keep this going if they wanted to.
Well, I mean, they never found his body. They never show what happened to his body. Like, he was on the ground. I mean, granted, he got stabbed in the neck, and then Michael snapped his neck, but Michael was burned alive, and all that kind of shit. So they could do something, but I think this franchise, this group, this trilogy of movies is done. Now, in 5 years, they could make another Halloween movie, and it could be like an Origins, and it could start the whole process over again. But I kind of feel like it's done. Like, we don't need any more of these.
You say that, someone's going to find a way to make a grittier, bloodier, darker, bleaker version.
Man, this one was like, as a trilogy as a whole, it was pretty dark. The kill scenes were intense. You know, like, there was a lot of action, a lot of, like, just messed up stuff. So, like, I don't know how more gruesome you can go. I think, if you go more gruesome, it's just going to put people off. Like, this movie's probably going to put people off just because the way they had some kill scenes.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then, like, the kid dying and shit like that. Favorite kill from this one?
Oh, the torch.
Torch?
Gotta go with the torch.
I think the DJ getting his tongue cut off. I think visually that was just, like, crazy to see. And it didn't look bad. You know, I've seen some of those cheesy zombie movies that look like shit, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, so it looked pretty good. What would you give this movie? I wish we had went back and saw what we rated the last two.
You know what? For consistency, I think I'm gonna give it an 8.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once it takes maybe 15 minutes to 20 minutes if you're that picky about the time jump in the beginning of this movie. 20 minutes in, you'll forget about the time jump and you'll just go along with it.
Yeah.
And if you take that aside, the story's been consistent. It's been coherent, and it feels like they kept giving you new reasons to keep up with the trilogy.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's fair.
Yeah, so
and also the fact that it kind of seemed like they made it a trilogy. Like, I don't know if the directors have said it like in actual conversations, but like it felt like this is a trilogy. So like you knew it was going to end. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like that, where it was like, it's going to end, you know? I'd probably give it an 8 too. I kind of wish Michael was in it a little bit more. Maybe just doing other, like.
It's weird because, like, it's by the time I processed it, Michael Myers came out. But it is weird that it took 40 minutes to actually get the main character from this movie.
Yeah.
In it.
Well, that's something that we've never seen the other Halloween movies apart from the original, because we never watched part 2 from the 80s. So there's something in those probably 4 or 5 movies that might have had this kind of
leap.
Yeah, and like this kind of sad like story, like where like because I'm pretty sure he possesses a bunch of people in one of the other movies. So like maybe he's not in the movie for like 40 minutes or like 30 minutes. So like they could have taken that from one of the movies we've never seen. So there is that, but yeah, it's like 40 minutes and he hadn't shown up. And I was like, man, like I hope it's not just he just pops up at the end or they make this kid Michael. I think it's pretty obvious from the start that he was going to be the villain in the movie. Yeah. I'd give it an 8. What about the trilogy as a whole? What would you give it?
After watching enough of some of the originals, Halloween, Friday the 13th, these new movies still had a bit of old school charm to it.
Yeah.
And it stayed the same throughout all 3 of them. So I think I'd give it a somewhere between a 7 and an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 7.5.
Yeah. my math button does
somewhere
not work.
Between 7 and 8.
Lousy smarch weather. I don't do math off the clock. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just drink and do Macho Man impressions.
I think I'd go with an 8 overall. I think it was solid. Kept true to the and I had a lot of people tell me that this new one sucked. I wouldn't say it sucked. Like I thought it was a pretty solid. Like if you're just watching this movie and thinking it's going to be, if you haven't watched the other 2 thinking you can just watch this, like it's not going to be good for you. Yeah. So I give the whole series an 8.
And 3 is a good solid number. You don't want this to be like the Avengers timeline and it's fucking 19 movies long. 3 is enough.
Like, yeah, and like Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't need to do anything ever. Like, she doesn't need to do another one of these. Like, her story is end. Like, because if he comes back in another movie and then she fights him again, and then it's just, you're like, no. Like, if they say we're making another Halloween movie with Jamie Lee Curtis, it's a continuation of Halloween Kills. Are you gonna watch it? I don't know if I will, man, because they've done everything. Like, how many more fights can they get into? How many more times can she stab him and him stab her? So I think it's done. It's a nice cap. If I still bought Blu-rays and DVDs, I'd probably buy a box set of the 3 movies to have in the collection. Mm-hmm. But I don't buy things anymore because we live in a world of streaming.
Yeah, oddly enough. If only there was some kind of service where you can get all those channels. And they give you a black box to store all those channels in.
If only.
Yeah, if only.
All right, pull the picture.
Oh, man.
I can't remember who picked last time. Was it me?
I think you did, yeah.
Okay. So if you're new to this and you just listened to us for 44 minutes, we have random movies in here, franchises that one of us haven't seen. Fast and the Furious, Cars.
Spoiler, Airplane is back in here.
Yeah, Airplane 2. What else is in there? Harry Potter.
Mortal Kombat.
So there's a bunch of movies that one of us or both of us haven't seen. It's mostly one of us. And then we pick from it and we watch it and review it. And last time was Airplane. This time
Halloween was a bonus episode.
We just did that one just because is it for me or for you?
So we're going to try this again. Harry Potter 2. We reviewed part 1, obviously, because we pulled part 2 out of the picture.
Yeah.
I surprisingly liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And Scott over here told me that the stories get a lot more adult past on from the 3rd movie on. So I was kind of anxious to knock the 2nd one out.
That is true.
Tried.
We started it. We watched it. Yeah. I watched it.
20 minutes in.
Yeah.
This was what, a year ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was last year that we pulled Harry Potter. And I tried watching the 2nd one on my own. No, now we're being assigned number 2.
Yeah,
we have to watch
it.
I have to watch
that might be a one where we have to get up early and not be at 9 o'clock at night kind of thing.
Okay.
Because you're going to fall asleep.
Well, it depends what we do here.
Yeah. Cool. Harry Potter. All right. I have been itching to watch those movies again. So you won't know, but there's 3 additional movies that came out over the past like 5 or 6 years, and they kind of follow this character, like a side character. I think he's a book. I think he's like character based on a book, but then it's like a real story. And it actually, the new one just came out this year, and it kind of involves Dumbledore, the principal, but as he's younger, he's played by Jude Law. So those movies by themselves are really good too. They had Johnny Depp in it, the first one, but because of the whole Amber Heard thing, they booted him. They brought somebody else in. So it'd be interesting if they'd ever bring back Johnny Depp now. But yeah, so there's 3 additional movies. So you've never seen those. So if once we finally finish Harry Potter, we'd watch those 3 as well.
There's 8, right? 8 Harry Potter movies.
They split the last one into 2.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something like that. Well, they split the last 2
It's
movies.
Gonna be a while since we get to the Secrets of Dumbledore.
But
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts and where you find them. Yeah.
Beasts.
And so I missed the Dumbledore movie, the 3rd one. I missed that one in theaters, and so I've been watching the 2nd one, but I put it on when I'm in bed at night, and I watch like 30 minutes, and I fall asleep, and then I watch 30 minutes, and I fall asleep. So I'm kind of watching it in little increments. And so once I finish that, then I'm going to watch the new one. So I'm kind of excited. Plus next year, they have a Hogwarts game coming out. It's an MMO where you create your own character, and then you do things in Hogwarts. And like you fight, there's like mysteries, and you have to you find hidden things, and you go to school and you learn magic and shit. Like you actually take classes. And so I'm like really interested in it. It's like, it looks fucking cool. You get to pick your house. All the houses look different. Like it's kind of cool. It's like, so I kind of want to get in that. So that'll be next year. So I'm definitely going to get that probably. And so I'm kind of like, now I'm like, I want to watch Harry Potter movies. And like, even though it has nothing to do with Harry Potter, and it's like not like, you're not going to walk by and Harry Potter's walking the hallway. It's like, it happens before Harry Potter. So it's like, you're a wizard, and you take classes, and you learn new trades, and then you go, and then Death Eater's there, and you got to fight things and shit. And you level up your character.
Nice.
That's it? You have anything else to talk about?
Did you mention earlier you wanted to talk about my trip to the joint?
Yeah, how was it?
It was it's very promising. I've got back issues. We
all do.
My hips misaligned.
Yep.
And I've got scar tissue.
Yep.
And most of the last 4 or 5 discs were not in place. So we're on a plan, and I like the doc. She's cool.
Don't get used to her. She's gonna be gone.
I know. Yeah.
They rotate and they move them.
I was actually thinking about if I'm not at that's because it's right next door from my job, so it's easy for me to go. I was supposed to go today, I forgot, but they bought the plan so that I can get some pops out. And she's like, take magnesium, take potassium, come see me twice a week, and within 2 or 3 months,
you should be good.
I should be good. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. The chick I went to 2 weeks ago was fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
she did all the different things that nobody's ever done. But yeah, like when I started going, we're not sponsored by the joint, by the way. So that'd be cool if they sponsored us.
Shit.
But when I went, so I started
cracking.
Yeah, that's the new slogan. We're gonna get cracking. I think I started. So like, I think it was during COVID. Just after COVID, I think it was that I was like, I was trying to take better care of my body because COVID was a weird time, and gained weight and was eating unhealthy because nothing was open, so you're eating fast food and shit. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna turn my life around. I'm gonna get healthier, and I was like, first off, I'm gonna start going to the joint, get my back because my back hurts, and the dude that I had was fantastic. Like he was there for like 2 months. I saw him every week. Boom, he's perfect. And then I go in there and it's some other guy, and I'm like, oh. And he's like, yeah, the other guy's at this location, somewhere else in like the country or whatever. And I was like, well, that sucks. And then this guy, he didn't hurt me, but like he was rough with me. And so I was like, man. And so
I've never heard you complain about that before. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm a pretty easygoing guy, pretty loose normally, but so then I went to a different location, and I just been kind of rotating. But this chick was awesome. I think it does help. Did you feel a difference, like instantly, or because my back isn't as fuck? But...
So she told me my hip was out of line, and because my hip was out of line, when I would lay my feet out on the table, one foot was like that much longer.
Yeah. Did you do that, like pushing down on your pelvis, like on the back?
Yeah. Popping my knees and popping my arms. She went pretty thorough for me. Yeah. So I told her I had several issues. And so it was like, I know you didn't come to ask for this, but let's do this anyway. Just play the. Though she like straddled my knee so that she could she could pop it, and I can't. It was hard. It was weird having in that position. Yeah. In general, and so she's like, just play dead. And I just literally completely played dead. I just fell back and let my whole body go limp, and then she grabbed it and then pop. And I was like, oh fuck. I guess I need it here too. Yeah, most of my.
You don't even think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, because my back's out of the line. I'm leaning mostly on my right to compensate for the left. And so yeah.
Yeah, man. Sometimes some things you like don't even think about, and they're like, oh, and then like, what you need to do now is go get a massage. When was the last time you had a massage?
Don't think I've ever had a massage,
dude. I'm telling you, man. Me and Sam got a couples massage for her birthday, and it was fantastic. There's a place on 45 that my sister goes to, and I think it's like $35, and they walk on your back, and it's supposed to be really good. And so I'm on that. I'm about to do that. Get a cheap massage.
Yeah, but it took me a while, but I'm on that path now that you are.
Yeah, man.
Where I'm fortunate at work, I'm new work, so I'm able to have extra income to take care of myself, because I'm looking back in my last like 5 or 6 years of working, I burned myself out. Didn't take care of myself. I was too busy chasing money. Mm-hmm. So now that I have the means, and it's literally right next door, I have no fucking excuse at this point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like, you know what? This isn't gonna get any easier. Let's just fucking do it.
Yeah, man.
So
it's just gonna get worse now. Like you're in the slow decline.
Decline.
Yeah, slow decline.
No. So yeah, joint. We should get some kind of promotional credit for that. That was Do not put in the description of our podcast.
Yeah.
That we put over fucking.
Yeah, I'll put it in there. The joint sponsored episode. Well, they text me all the goddamn time. I should get something out of
it. West Coast 610 IPA from Great Heights Brewery.
My can's over there.
And Scott had also from Great Heights Willis Cold IPA.
Yes.
I don't know why I just did that the way I did it. I just felt like it. Just went with it.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, these are 2 beers. This one's really good. I'm really digging this one.
What was your favorite beer from your recent trip to Colorado?
Ooh, I had a lot of beers. Don't go that way. Come this way. I had a lot of fucking beers. There's a really good brewery called Cohesion. They did some really good lagers and pilsners. I'm gonna go back there for sure. Come on, go. Definitely gonna go back there. Hopefully maybe next year, and definitely go back to Cohesion. I could just sit there all day.
Yeah.
Bartenders were cool, and they only had 5 beers. They only made lagers and pilsners, but they made them fucking on point. Our Mutual Friends were pretty good. Their beers were good. Bierstadt was good. Yeah. And then the beers at the festival. Look, I think I still have it. This is. I wrote down all the beers that I had. These are just 1 ounce pours, but this is everything I drank at Great American Beer Fest.
God dang.
Yeah, that I remembered to write in. Oh, I did have Sam Adams Utopias. It's their barrel aged, and it's like 21%. It's like
Pivos,
it's almost like a scout, like a Scotch.
Dang.
Yeah.
Blueberry muffin.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Great Notion. They were right next to us in the booth, our booth next to us. Great Notion, and they had blueberry, and they had a blueberry muffin, and then they had a peanut butter stout. And so before the festival started, I asked if they could pour both, so it was like a blueberry peanut butter stout. And I was like, "Have y'all done this before?" And they were like, "We've done it a couple times at tap room." I was like, "This is fucking good. Like, I would drink
That's
this
breakfast with alcohol."
Yeah, yeah. Austin. We were in Austin a couple weeks ago for Beer Fest, and Meanwhile was really good. St. Elmo was really good. I finally went to Live Oak, which was fucking awesome. I've never been there before. They were probably the top ones. Pine House was pretty good too. I want to go back to Austin.
Let's go.
All right. On that note, we're gonna go to Austin. It's a Tuesday. Nope. Yeah. So Harry Potter 2 again. We'll plan that next week probably.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, we might have to do it in the couch.
And we might also do a quick little mini episode. We're gonna watch the most recent Halloween special from The Simpsons.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, we did there's an episode in the archive where we go through 30 years. Mm-hmm. We sat through a Saturday and a Sunday straight.
Yeah.
Watched every Treehouse of Horror from 1 to 30, and we ranked them by clips and by complete episodes.
Yeah, that was a long.
So it's only fitting.
I think I missed the last one, so we might have to watch the last two.
Okay. I was thinking, besides the Halloween specials, I think the episode before was they did a play on it.
Yeah.
Where Krusty was actually.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Hulu right now.
So we might need. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, those three, because I'm pretty sure I missed the Halloween episode from last year because we reviewed it in 20. I guess it was 21, so maybe I didn't miss it. Well, whatever. We'll have to go back and look. But yeah, this dog is acting the fool, so
up in here.
So we're gonna be done. So I still don't have an outro.
I'm still gonna just keep drinking because you're already done.
I already finished, man. On that note,
city boy, city boy.
What's that from?
No idea. It's from somewhere, but I can't put my finger on it right now.
All right, end it.